Hey guys, welcome back to Latinos in Real Estate Investing podcast. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about life lessons at the age of 45 and wisdom to pass down to my future generations. And I'm really recording this episode for my children, my grandchildren, my future grandchildren. I don't have any yet, but my future grandchildren and or my great-great-grandchildren. In this special episode, on the occasion of my 45th birthday, I want to take a moment to reflect on the valuable lessons, life lessons, that I have learned over the years. These lessons have shaped me into the person I am today, and I hope they will serve as guidance for my children, my grandkids, my great-grandkids, and even my great-great-great-grandkids in years to come. Chris, G, Gianni, Jeremy, and Julian, I want to leave behind for you guys and for the listeners. If you're listening, I hope you guys find value in what I am going to share in this episode. Thank you guys for being here, and I'm going to go right in. And number one is take care of your health. True wealth comes from having a healthy body, mind, and spirit. Exercise daily, 30 minutes minimum. Quiet your mind daily, at least 10 minutes a day in the morning, by meditating or some form of alone time. Discover what fulfills you in life and make time for this at least one time per month. Take care of your health. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. Your health is true wealth. Number two, find your purpose in life. God puts us on this earth for a greater purpose other than ourselves. Find out what it is for you as early as you can in life. Do this by taking time with a pen and paper and ask yourself, why did God put me on this planet for? What is the impact I'm supposed to have? The earlier you do this in your life, the sooner you will find your definition of success and how to measure it. Success is different for everybody. And remember, what gets measured gets improved. Number three, this is a big one for me. Have integrity. Build a reputation of keeping your word. For men, there is something about doing what you say you're going to do that makes you feel like a man and makes you feel complete. Honor your word, especially to yourself. Be strategic to what you commit yourself to, because every time you say you're going to do something and you don't honor your commitment, you will lose a little bit of yourself. You do that long enough and you lose yourself. I used to be that guy when I was a younger man. I didn't have a male figure in my life teaching me values, teaching me what it is to be a man of honor, what it is to be a man. And I want to share this with you, men or women, doesn't matter. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't honor your word, you lose yourself. Before you know it, you don't know who you are, and no one trusts you. No one wants to be around you. No one believes in anything that you say. Number four, discipline. Nothing great has ever been accomplished without discipline. Think, study, and ask yourself, what are the disciplines that I must implement in my life in order to hit my desired goal or target? The earlier you figure this out in life, the sooner you will start to unlock your true potential. Find out what it is that you want. Number five, habits. This one's interchangeable with discipline, except the habits is the things you actually do every day that will compound over time and get you your desired results in life. Your habits will make or will break you. If you do, even if it's a little bit, if you do the wrong things, a little bit of the wrong things long enough, it will compound over time and it will have a negative impact on your life. For instance, smoking cigarettes. If you smoke one cigarette every day for 40 years, that will have a negative impact on your lungs. If you go for a 30-minute walk every day for 40 years, that will compound and have a positive impact in your life. Same with everything else in your life. If you wake up every morning and you meditate and you pray and you have an attitude of gratitude, that will compound over time in your life and it will have a positive impact in your life. Number six, long-term thinking. This is a hard one when you're a young person because you don't have any reference points. But as you get older, you start to have reference points. The sooner you can adapt this mindset, the better off you'll be. Most of the world is thinking in terms of instant gratification. Learn to think in terms of decades, 10, 20, 30 years at a time. Even learn to think in terms of generations, just like I am right now by creating this episode for you. Nothing sustainable over the long period of time, over any long period of time, comes quickly. It takes some people 20 years to become overnight success. Once you succeed, many will look at you and the outcome and ignore the years of hard work, the disciplines, the habits, the purpose, your integrity, everything else I mentioned a moment ago. This skill of long-term thinking is one of the main differences between a poor person's mindset and a wealthy person's mindset. Remember, however difficult a situation might be that you're going through right now, this too shall pass, the great book says. And you should keep in mind that the big picture, your long-term goal, remember that time will pass no matter what. I had a friend that told me one time that I was going through a difficult challenge in my life. And he said to me, it's a pastor friend of mine, we were out for a walk. And he said to me, Martin, when you're going through hell, keep walking. You're better off sacrificing today and being disciplined today to have a better tomorrow. Long-term thinking. I want to reference point what I just mentioned a moment ago. Poor people tend to want instant gratification, right? And naturally, I have been poor, and I have been on the other side of that. Now I'm on the other side of that. But poor people tend, because they don't have anything, when they get some money or they get something, they tend to want to go and gratify themselves and give themselves pleasure, vacation. Wealthy people, people that have become wealthy, self-made wealthy people, are people that sacrifice the now for a better tomorrow. Learn this skill. Learn to sacrifice today. Don't eat the donut. Go for a walk. And that sacrifice over a long period of time will have a compound effect. Number 7, love. Love is the strongest emotion known to human beings. Love deeply and keep your loved ones close, and don't let your love for them cloud your judgment and your logic. Learn to separate love from logic and your moral values. Your purpose, your values should be your guiding compass. Decisions. This is something I learned from one of my mentors. And actually, it was years ago. My mentor said to me, he used an analogy. I think he read it somewhere, and I also wind up reading it in the same book. I don't remember the book, but the analogy was, think of you being in a boat, and you're in the front of a boat. So there's above the line and below the line. If the decision you're making is going to take the whole boat down, that's not a good decision. That means if it's going to blow a hole below the water line, the part in the bottom of the boat where the water is, that means it's going to sink the boat. If it's a decision that it's above the water line and it creates a challenge above the water line, then that's a decision you can proceed. It's not going to take the whole boat down. The biggest thing I've learned about making decision is never make an important decision on a whim. When everything is going great in your life, you might get overconfident. Be very careful on making decisions, because you'll be making decisions quickly when you're in that state, and you might not be able to process the possibilities of potential downfalls below the line. Same for when things are not going your way, right? When you're in that state, always take a day, if things are tough, before you make important decisions. The quality of the questions you ask yourself during this time will be crucial to the results that you get. I had another mentor actually told me, he said to me, don't ever make decisions when you're in bed with a woman. For young men, if you're in bed with a woman and a woman asks you for something in that time, don't make a decision there. You're not going to be making the right decision. You'll be making the decision using the wrong head. You want to make logical decisions. That's all I have to say on that. Number 9, create values for yourself. This one is a big one. It wasn't until I created values for myself and I figured out my purpose that I started navigating life with confidence. And values are the principles in your life you live by, and you should never steer away from them, as these are your core beliefs. Some of mine, I'll give you and share some of mine, are integrity, to be honest in all my dealings. Another one is health. These are my toward values. These are things that I'm going towards, that I have created disciplines and habits around. Health is a priority in my life. If I don't have my health, doesn't matter how much success you have. You don't have your health, you don't have nothing. Family. My family is the most important. Family and your friends and relationship, it should be the most, those are the most important in my life. Wealth. It's my responsibility as a man in my home to create wealth for my family and to make things better for my future generations. Intelligence. It's another value of mine. To make decisions on logic and my own thinking, and not just because that's what's popular today or what the mob is doing. If it doesn't make sense to me and it doesn't resonate with me, I will always trust me first. Remember, you have to sleep with someone every single day, and that's with yourself. Never violate your values. Make sure you use your own logic and your own sense when you're creating your values. Another one of mine is contribution and impact. That's to have a positive impact on the planet by empowering others to become a better version of themselves. These are just a few of my values that I've created for myself and my life. They're written down and I read them every day when I wake up as a constant reminder who I am and what I stand for. When you do this, this will permeate in all aspects of your life and in everything that you do. Number 10, goals. Create goals. There's an art to creating goals. Create goals in your life. Create written goals for your love life, for your financial life, for your health, for your relationships. I call relationships and your friends and your relationships your inner circle. When setting goals, start where you want. Start where you want to be in 25 years from today, and then 10 years, and then 5 years, and lastly, this year. You want to go 25 years out. What do I want in 25, 30 years? Where do I want to be? What's my checkpoint in 10 years? What are the things I should have accomplished in 10 years to be on track to reach that 25-year goal? Then what are the 5-year, what are my checkpoints? What should I have accomplished in 5 years to be on track to that 25-year goal? What should I have accomplished in 3 years to be on track for that 25-year goal? And what should I accomplish this year to be on track for that 25-year goal? You'll be surprised. Life is long. And you'll be surprised of what disciplines and habits can do over time, the compound effect of those things. So ask yourself, what are the habits I need to stop or start doing in order to get there? Remember what I said earlier, the quality of the questions that you ask yourself will determine the quality of your results. Number 11, finances. I believe that it's every man's duty and responsibility to figure out the money game and become financially free. Here's the thing. I've been broke. I was raised poor. I lived in a third world country in the Dominican Republic the first 5 years of my life, where we didn't have running water for a toilet. We didn't have running water to brush our teeth, to take a shower. We had to go get water up the street about a block away to have water for that day. I know what poverty is like. We live in a capitalist society. Money is the exchange. I think there's always going to be some form of exchange for you to live somewhere, for you to buy things, for you to get goods and services. And you have to figure out how to master your finances. Remember, one important rule of money: he who has the money makes the rules. Spend dedicated thinking time to figure out how to get your money to work for you and not the other way around. Learn to invest in assets that produce cash flow so that your living expenses for you and your family are always covered. This is an important topic. It's an important part of your life because the saying is, money doesn't buy you happiness, and that's correct, but it sure gives you flexibility and freedom for you to go work on yourself and be happy, okay? Always invest in yourself is number 12. The one thing I can say has given me the biggest return on my investments has always been investing in me. When you invest in yourself, the things you learn, no one will be able to take away from you. Attend seminars, attend workshops, whatever it is you want to learn, go and take action and implement them in your life. Remember to live by the rule of you learned something today, immediately go and put it out in your brain, action out. What you learn, invest in a therapist, a coach to help you let go of the past traumas in your life. Your traumas and your belief are your biggest friends or your biggest enemies. If they're holding you back, your traumas could be holding you back. And a lot of times we don't know that they're holding us back. Things that happen in our early childhood could be holding you back right now. Held me back for many years. Things that happened in my early childhood. So invest in yourself, invest in a therapist, get a coach, get a mentor, learn to let go and move on. Number 13, forgiveness. Death is coming one day. So make sure you live your life without grudges, because that emotion will shorten your lifespan and will be detrimental to your health. And remember, your health is your wealth. Learn to forgive others as they are imperfect and neither are you. Holding grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgive and be wise. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean they get to stay in your life in the same capacity as before. Use discernment and do forgive. Number 14, gratitude. The power of gratitude. One of life's powerful secrets to abundance is gratitude. Expressing gratitude for the big and the small things in life has been transformative for me. It helps me maintain a positive mindset and appreciate the beauty and abundance that surrounds us. Get a gratitude journal and write 3 things you're grateful for every single morning and start building that habit as soon as you can. It's magical. It will create magical things will happen in your life. Be grateful to God for all the little things He's given you, and He will soon be blessing you. Will have bigger blessings for you. Embracing failures and learning from them. It's number 15. Failures and setbacks are inevitable in life, but they hold valuable lessons. Embracing them as opportunities for growth, learning from them, and bouncing back stronger has been a key lesson for me. And lastly, number 16, cultivating meaningful relationships. Building and nurturing meaningful relationships with family, friends, and loved ones is one of life's greatest treasures. I have learned that investing time and effort into building strong connections is invaluable to happiness and support throughout life. And lastly, remember that some people come in our lives for a season or a reason, and others are with you on this journey until the last day of your life.